What is up, y'all? Rick here again with another episode of Rick and Kids Hobby Time. So this one is one of our maintenance videos. I've had my Redcat Shredder for a while, Seamus. I've only gotten about 10 to maybe 15 minutes of runtime, and I've gone through 3 different stock Redcat diffs. So I did some research, and I found out that you could upgrade it to the Arrma center or the Arrma diff cups with Arrma internals. And really my problem is the diff cups that I keep just tearing out the bottom. I don't know if they're getting too hot on 6S or exactly what it is, but I've seen quite a few videos of people upgrading to the Arrma ones, so I figured I would try it. So this is one of the talking maintenance videos, so if that's not for you, I apologize. For those of you that do want to watch it, I have a complete list of all the parts I used, along with links to them, along with links to the videos that I used as reference. Hopefully this is a good help. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you watch all the way to the end, get something from it if this is affecting you. And let's get to it, y'all. Alright, y'all, so we're going to explain a couple things here as to why I did what I did the way I did it. Alright, so for the shredder, this is a complete Arrma diff, okay? A center diff. The only difference between this one and what I would put in my Creighton 6S is the bearings. These are bigger, and I'll show you that here in a second. And then these are Redcat outdrive cups. Okay. Now, there is a way. If you really wanted to, you could use the Redcat spur gear. This one. Okay. Now, it fits. You have to drill out the holes I had to drill out the holes just a little bit, and then you got to use the Redcat cover just like you would for your regular Redcat center diff. The reason I did not do that is I had seen a video, and I'll link that video here in a minute down in the description box, that told me that I needed all of these bearings and I could only use these. And I couldn't use any Redcat parts at all except for the outdrives. Now that is false. The Redcat stuff, the caps, and that's actually what I did here, and we'll cover that here in a minute. The Redcat caps and spur gears will work. Like I said, you just got to drill out the hole for the screws. I used a 1/8 inch drill bit, and that's just so that you can use Arrma screws or Arrma style screws, because the Redcat, the diameter of the shank and the threaded area on the screws are too small. At least for me, because I used secondhand diff cups that I had already taken out of my Creighton 6S, because I changed to the metal ones for that one. And I may do the same thing for this one. I don't know, but that's just an expensive thing, and everything's sold out at the moment. So you can use that, and that would lessen some of the things that you got to do. So I had to, where the bearing sits in with the spur gear, okay, if I had realized that I could use the Redcat one, this would have been fine. I wouldn't have had to deepen this and widen this out. Now, I had already done that before I realized that I could use the Redcat spur gear. So now the normal regular Redcat bearing is too loose in there, whereas the new one is a lot better. Alright, plus these are thicker, they're wider, and that's my biggest problem. Okay, so the Redcat one won't work for me anymore because I had already wallered it out to fit this one. So I can get a good mesh now, but now I can't use the Redcat and I would have to buy a whole new motor mount. I really don't feel like doing that. Now, why is that a thing? So I can't take one of these bearings off just to show you, but the area that the inner part of the bearing goes, let's see, so the inner diameter here for Arrma is smaller than the Redcat, because this is a stock Redcat. So that's why you need these other bearings. So the Redcat one, or the Arrma ones, the neck is smaller. So that's why that is there, is to take up that gap. These bearings fill in between the tiny neck of the Arrma to the larger outer diameter of the Redcat. So that's why this is completely Arrma, with the exception of the bearings and the outdrive. These are an Arrma cup, Arrma internals, Redcat spur gear, ring gear, Redcat outdrives, regular Redcat out or bearing, and then just one special bearing for, like we talked about, on the center. So that's why I did what I did. Now, once we get to putting this in the truck, I will cover having to clearance some stuff. For the center, you have to clearance. If you do the Redcat spur gear, you don't have to clearance anything. Well, on this side, you will have to clearance for the bigger bearing on the other side, which isn't that big a deal. However, it's a little bit more complicated when you get to the front and rears. Alrighty, y'all, so let's talk about these front and rear diffs, the bulkheads, the housings. So obviously you have to clearance for the bigger bearings, right, like we talked about. So what I did is I just took all these tools that you see here on my Dremel and my drills, and I just slowly worked away at just, getting it so that the bearing fits in there. And this one doesn't quite, but this is a spare, and I realized I did the wrong side for the one I was working on. So one thing you'll have to keep in mind is where the bigger bearing is and which way the diff needs to go in the bulkhead to get your tires to rotate correctly. Now this is for a rear, and I have to be on the what would be a passenger side, and same thing for the front, so you can't do them both the exact same. So this is a rear, and if you put it on the front, you actually need to clearance this side for the bigger bearing, and that's why this is a spare, as I did it the wrong way. Now if you watch Rage RC's video, was it Rage RC Repair? In his video, he actually made he got one of these metal grinding stone wheel things, and he actually used his calipers and got it to the right size. I don't have that ability, so I just made do with what I've got, but that option is out there. It should be a lot easier if you have it already the right size. Then all you have to do is just make sure that you get it centered and do that. For the metal motor mount, I just used to get the center bore big enough for the drive cup, I just used my body reamer. It's aluminum. It really wasn't that difficult. I just a couple turns here and there, just a little bit at a time from both sides of the hole that I was trying to enlarge, and it worked really well. So yeah, I've got everything back together. I will have a complete parts link or parts list down below in the description box, along with links to the channels that are the videos that I use as reference. make sure you check those out because those are more in-depth than what I'm doing. I just want to give credit where credit is due. So yeah. Alrighty y'all, so I've got the rear put in. I had the motor going the wrong way, so my orange and blue wires are flipped. Not a big deal. Now I'm just trying to make sure that I've got the front differential in the correct way to make the front tires spin the same way, so that I don't mess up one of these bulkheads, because I've only got one spare, which is still good because it's a spare, but at the same time I'm not trying to do double work. So I've got the batteries hooked up, ESC, motor, transmitter. Try to do this. As you can see, 6S, 2 3S batteries. Let's see. Well, this thing's going to be insane. Alright, well it looks like, I don't know if y'all can see that. Well, that's spinning the right way. Sweet. That test is complete. Alright y'all, so we have finally got Seamus all the way back together. And here's the final test and a couple little mods that I did off camera. Remote's already on. Alright, 6S. Support this here. So as you can see, everything works. Alright, so I did put these two battery trays in instead of the stock ones. Just trying to give myself a little bit more room for more options for batteries. I might have to trim the ESC case here, and that'll be alright. It's not really doing a whole lot where I need to trim it anyway. But yeah, links to the battery cases down below. I'm not going to run it in this video just because this video is already getting pretty long. But as you can see, we got the 6S Arrma diff cases in there. Everything moves the way it should. Links to all the channels I used are as reference, and links to everything that I used as far as all the individual pieces. Hopefully you liked this video. Hopefully it was informative. Yeah, check out some of our other videos. Be on the lookout. The next video I release is going to be this one running. Alright y'all, thanks.